The world paused on the day Michael Jackson passed away. Headlines flashed overdose, and the news spread like wildfire. Yet, behind the public story, a far more complex narrative was quietly taking shape, one that hinted at careful planning rather than mere accident.
A man named Dave Schwartz decided to confront Dr. Evan Chandler. And not just to confront him, but to record him speaking about what he was going to do to Michael Jackson and co. Take a listen to Dr. Evan Chandler, the dentist, in his own words.
I interviewed several, and I picked the nastiest son of a bitch I could find. Once I make that phone call, this guy is just going to destroy everybody in sight. Any devious, nasty, cruel way that he can do it. And I've given him full authority to do that. He'll be a if I don't get what I want. If I go through with this, I win big time. I will get everything I want, and they will be destroyed forever.
In the days leading up to his death, whispers emerged about a chilling final phone call. Michael reportedly confided that he feared someone was setting him up, warning that if anything happened, it might be staged to appear as a drug overdose.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people that want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed you with drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know, Tita. I don't care. They can kill me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My angels. I want them to be safe.
Michael.
I gotta go.
At the time, many dismissed his fears, but in hindsight, those words would take on a chilling weight. When investigators arrived at Michael Jackson's Los Angeles mansion, the scene immediately struck them as unusual. The bedroom was stiflingly hot, a fireplace crackling in the corner. Notes were taped across mirrors and doors, fragments of thoughts, scribbled phrases, perhaps even song lyrics. The space where he was receiving treatment bore little resemblance to a proper medical setup. It was bare, cluttered, and chaotic. An IV stand stood nearby, a saline bag hung loosely, and various medications were scattered across the room. On the bed lay a laptop and a medical training doll, an odd combination that heightened the sense that something was very wrong. One detective's attention was drawn to a small bottle that had rolled under a nightstand. The label read Propofol. At first, he didn't recognize it, but soon he learned it was a powerful anesthetic typically reserved for surgical procedures, meant to put patients completely under. Why would a drug of that potency be in a bedroom? Even then, police weren't calling it a crime. They were simply trying to piece together what had happened. Their next step, questioning Michael's personal physician, Conrad Murray, whose testimony at trial would become a pivotal part of the story.
I love Mr. Jackson. He was my friend. And he opened up to me in different ways. And I wanted to help him.
Never before heard outside of the investigation the voice of Dr. Conrad Murray and his version of the moment he's alleged to have killed Michael Jackson. 2 days after the star died, at Murray's request, he sat down with detectives in a hotel room. He described hours of trying to help Jackson sleep after finishing rehearsals.
All I wanna say is that they don't really care about
He was wide awake. And then he complained, I got to see Dr. Conrad. I have these rehearsals to perform. I must be ready for the show in England. Tomorrow I will have to cancel my performance. I have to cancel my trip because, you know, I cannot function if I don't get the sleep.
When all else failed, Propofol, what Jackson called his milk, was mentioned.
And that time he said, I'd like to have some milk.
Hot milk or warm or just...
This is just a medicine.
Yeah, what
that
is...
he was familiar with.
What is the medicine?
It's called Propofol.
Propofol, okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the first time.
Okay, you've administered it more than 10 times?
Yes.
More than 20 times?
30 days a month, roughly, every day.
Oh, so it's about a daily...
But daily, with the exception of 3 days leading up to his death, I tried to wean him off.
The first time that milk was used on him, was it your idea or was it his idea?
His.
Investigators were stunned. Propofol isn't an ordinary sleep aid. It's a powerful anesthetic designed for hospital use under strict monitoring, with machines to support a patient's breathing. Yet Conrad Murray admitted he had been administering it to Michael regularly. Then came the most alarming part of his account. Murray claimed he gave Michael Propofol and stepped away briefly to use the bathroom. When he returned, Michael was no longer breathing. Murray attempted CPR. Security was summoned and 911 was dialed. But it was already too late.
Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not breathing, sir.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 50 years old, sir.
50, okay. He's unconscious, he's not breathing?
Yes, he's not breathing, sir.
Okay, and he's not conscious either. He's not breathing.
He's not conscious, sir.
Okay. All right, do you have him, is he on the floor? Where's he at right now?
He's on the bed, sir. He's on the bed.
Okay, let's get him on the floor.
Okay.
Okay, let's get him down to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay?
We need him. Yes,
we're already on our way there. We're on our way. I'm going to do as much as I can to help you over the phone. We're already on our way. Did anybody see him?
Yes, we have a personal doctor here with him, sir.
Oh, you have a doctor there?
Yes, but he's not responding to anything, so no, he's not responding to CPR or anything, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on our way there. If your guys are doing CPR and you're instructed by a doctor, he has a higher authority than me, and he's there on scene.
But as police sifted through the evidence, cracks began to appear in the story. For one, the amount of propofol in Michael's system shouldn't have been lethal, yet somehow it was. Questions mounted. How could a drug meant to be carefully monitored in a hospital setting end up claiming the life of the king of pop?
Subsequent research, as well as this Chilean study, simply confirmed your initial finding that there was zero possibility that Michael's oral ingestion of propofol,
Correct.
whether it occurred or not, caused his death.
Correct. I believe this study, by showing the drug cannot be abused orally, means that if the drug is abused, it will only be done with an intravenous route, which limits the vulnerable population to healthcare providers. The general public typically doesn't have IVs and things like this available the way they can just drink a drug.
The investigation uncovered more unsettling details. On the day of Michael's death, Dr. Murray had brought a medical bag into the mansion. But when they went to the hospital, the bag had vanished. When questioned, Murray seemed baffled. Later, investigators discovered it hidden in a closet in another room. Inside were used needles, empty bottles, and additional propofol. The discovery raised alarming questions. Why would someone pause during a medical emergency just to hide supplies? The autopsy was thorough and revealing. Michael's body showed no major disease. For a 50-year-old man, he was relatively healthy. Nothing obvious explained the sudden death. Then the toxicology report arrived. Acute propofol intoxication. The death was officially ruled a homicide. Experts examined Murray's account and found it didn't align with the medical facts. The amount of propofol in Michael's system far exceeded what Murray claimed to have administered. Evidence suggested a continuous drip rather than a single small dose. Even more disturbing, investigators found an IV bag rigged with a Propofol bottle, set up to control flow with simple gravity. No proper medical pump, no breathing support. Administering anesthesia without oxygen equipment is extremely dangerous. Pharmacy records added to the picture. Gallons of Propofol had been shipped to Murray's girlfriend's apartment, far beyond any normal, safe practice. The scene painted a picture of recklessness at best, negligence at worst. Michael's supporters began asking harder questions. He had warned people he felt targeted, that someone might try to set him up. Initially described as an overdose, his death was ultimately determined to be a homicide caused by improper medical care. In 2011, Conrad Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, bringing a tragic chapter to a painful close.
Superior Court of California, Los Angeles County. The people of the state of California plaintiff versus Conrad Robert Murray, defendant. Case number SA 073164. Title of court and cause. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Conrad Robert Murray, guilty of the crime of involuntary manslaughter in violation of Penal Code Section 192, subsection B. Alleged victim, Michael Joseph Jackson. Alleged date of June 25th, 2009. As charged in count 1 of the information. This 7th day of November, 2011, four-person juror ID number 145, seat number 3. Is this your verdict? Is this your individual and personal verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes. All jurors indicating the affirmative. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you whether this is your individual and personal verdict. I'm going to be asking you individually if this is correct. If it is your individual and personal verdict, say yes. If it is not your individual and personal verdict, say no. Is this your individual and personal verdict, Juror 1?
Yes, sir.
Juror 2?
Yes, sir.
Juror 3?
Yes.
Juror 4?
Yes, sir.
Juror 5?
Yes.
Juror 6?
Yes.
Juror 7?
Yes.
Juror 8?
Yes.
Juror 9?
Yes.
Juror 10?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 11?
Yes.
Juror 12?
Yes, sir.
All jurors having indicated in the affirmative, the court clerk is directed to record the verdict. Do counsel waive further reading of the verdict as recorded? Mr. Walgren?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chernoff? Yes.
Yet for many fans, the story doesn't end there. They recall Michael's final warnings, the unsettling details, the hidden medical bags, a potent surgical anesthetic in a bedroom, the suspicious cleanup during a life or death moment. Was it mere negligence, greed, or something far more sinister unfolding behind the scenes? The evidence suggests at least some degree of foul play. The shadow of controversy had followed Michael for years. In 1993, Evan Chandler accused him of abusing his 13-year-old son, Jordan, a case that would forever haunt the pop icon's public image and fuel speculation about hidden threats and motives.
This man is going to be humiliated beyond belief. He will not believe it. He will not believe what's going to happen. Beyond his worst nightmares, sell one more record. If I go through with this, I win big time. I will get everything I want, and they will be destroyed forever. They will be destroyed. June is going to lose Jordy. She will have no right to ever see him again.
Yeah.
That's a fact, Dave. That's what's
Does that help?
Michael's career will be over.
Does that help Jordy?
Michael's career will be over.
And does that help Jordy?
That's irrelevant to me.
The allegation sent shockwaves across the globe, prompting an immediate police investigation. Yet, something many people forget, the case was closed in under a year, with authorities finding no physical evidence to support the claim. You might expect that to be the end of it, but it wasn't. The media frenzy continued unabated, pressuring Michael to step forward and issue his own statement, trying to defend himself amid a storm of speculation and headlines.
And fans, I wish to convey my deepest gratitude for your love and support. I am doing well and I am strong. As you may already know, after my tour ended, I remain out of the country undergoing treatment for a dependency on pain medication. This medication was initially prescribed to see the excruciating pain that I was suffering after recent reconstructive surgery on my scalp. There have been many disgusting statements made recently concerning allegations of improper conduct on my part. These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy end to this horrifying experience to which I have been subjected. I shall not in this statement respond to all of the false allegations being made against me, since my lawyers have advised me that this is not the proper forum in which to do that. I will say that I am particularly upset by the handling of this mass matter by the incredible, terrible mass media. At every opportunity, the media has dissected and manipulated these allegations to reach their own conclusions. I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent. I have been forced to submit to a dehumanizing and humiliating examination by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff Department and the Los Angeles Police Department earlier this week. They served a search warrant on me which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted. They were supposedly looking for any discoloration, spotting, blotches, or other evidence of a skin color disorder called vitiligo, which I have previously spoken about. The warrant also directed me to cooperate in any examination of my body by their physician to determine the condition of my skin, including whether I have vitiligo or any other skin disorder. The warrant further stated that I had no right to refuse the examination or photographs, and if I failed to cooperate with them, they would introduce that refusal at any trial as an indication of my guilt. It was the most humiliating ordeal of my life.
Headlines exploded worldwide, amplifying the pressure on Michael. The stress became so overwhelming that he canceled part of his tour. Then came an even more shocking twist. His own sister, LaToya Jackson, went on television and publicly declared that he was guilty, sending shockwaves through fans and the media alike.
Michael is my brother and I love him. However, at the same time, I think the public is getting the wrong understanding. They're looking at him as the entertainer, the superstar. We must put that aside and judge him as a man, just like anybody else. Any other man that's out there, and it would be wrong for any other man to sleep with a child and do these things. We had a very close relationship when we were at home. We did everything together. We shared everything.
Cuando estábamos juntos, estábamos siempre juntos. Hemos dividido muchas cosas juntos. And?
Oh, I'm waiting for the interpreter, I'm sorry. And we did everything together. However, at the same time, I was very disappointed in some of the things that I saw. But you can't really accuse a person of anything if you don't actually see them in the act themselves. But you're wary, you have suspicions of things that are going on, like little boys that were in the room, that stayed in the room for several days, and you walk in and the personality of that kid has changed dramatically. It's so strange when you see these kids later. They become so withdrawn and so shy. In the beginning they're so playful and so up, and all of a sudden they change and they're very close to him and they're with him every day. No, the only, as far as girls, he's never had a girlfriend in his life.
Él dice que no ha tenido nunca una chica. Michael Jackson nunca ha tenido una mujer a su lado.
No, but he's always with little boys. Once you speak out, and it comes out openly, and then he will realize and recognize what I'm doing is wrong. I do need help. I do need to stop doing this. And maybe he will stop doing this. Because if I don't speak out, he will continue and other children will continue to be hurt. We must put a stop to these kids. Did you see the story about the preacher?
Later, LaToya recanted, explaining that her husband had pressured her into making the accusation. That revelation only deepened the mystery. Why would someone coerce a sister to turn against her own brother? For many, it fueled theories that larger, more complex forces were at work behind the scenes. The situation was as strange as it was unsettling.
It's very strange. Who is LaToya Jackson's husband? Well, here's a photo of her with him. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. Like Dr. Evan Chandler, this man is Jewish. I'm going to tell you why that matters as we get more into the Michael Jackson story. Her husband is a Jewish Russian immigrant, it says. His name used to be Jack Leon Gordon, and he then changed his name, also changed where he said he was born. He claimed that Las Vegas was his birthplace until he changed his name in 1981 to Samuel Isaac Gordon. And then he changed his name again in 1983 to Clifford William Johnson. And then he said he was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. okay, this is all getting really weird. Why is this person changing his name so many times? And why is he pushing his wife to say that her brother is a pedophile? I mean, that's at least what LaToya Jackson said. And the story is going to get even stranger and stranger. It's making me think that we should maybe go back and re-examine his relationship, Michael Jackson's relationship, and with young Jordan and how these allegations came about. So let's do that. First and foremost, how did Michael Jackson meet little Jordan Chandler? It's actually kind of, the stars must have just aligned, literally the star being Michael Jackson. His car broke down on the side of the road. And he called the police. He was like, I'm Michael Jackson. Can you please come help me deal with this car? And they were like, no, actually, we can't help you deal with your car on the side of the road. And he made a bunch of phone calls. And then finally somebody was driving by and they were able to help him. And that someone was an owner of Rent-A-Wreck. His name was David Schwartz. David Schwartz then gets Michael Jackson, tows the king of pop, could you imagine this, back to his shop and obviously calls his wife. And her name is June Chandler Schwartz. And he's like, literally the most famous person in the world is standing in our shop. You might want to get down here real quick. And guess what? June got down there real quick and she brought her young son, Jordan, with her. And then the relationship was born. Michael Jackson, as so many fans were surrounding him at this wreck place, he began speaking to the little boy because he, I guess, felt uncomfortable about all the press. They had a conversation, and he felt that the family was just so kind to him that they became really close friends. He traveled around with Jordan. He brought Jordan's mother with him, took them everywhere, hosted sleepovers with Jordan, along with other young boys. Obviously, we all know about his Neverland Ranch, and our understanding of that up until this point was just that Michael Jackson always felt that he didn't have a childhood. And so he always felt badly for children and wanted them to have an experience, have a real childhood, and created a ranch to make that a plausibility. Like he wanted to create Disney World forever for children.
And when people looked closer at how the accusation even started, things got stranger. Reports showed that Evan Chandler gave his son a powerful drug called sodium amytal during a dental visit. This isn't a normal drug for pulling a tooth. It's a sedative that can make someone feel sleepy and suggestible. After that, Jordan told a psychiatrist that Michael had hurt him. Soon after, Chandler allegedly demanded millions of dollars from Michael to keep the accusations quiet. Recordings later surfaced of Chandler saying he was going to destroy Michael's career, and that whether it helped his son was irrelevant.
And once his son said yes, and he recorded that, Evan Chandler then demanded $20 million privately from Michael Jackson. He didn't go to the cops. He went to a lawyer. He said, I won't make this public if you give me $20 million. If you don't give me $20 million, I'm going to make it public. And Michael Jackson told him to kick rocks, allegedly. And then he had his lawyer go back and say, okay, what about if it's just $1 million? And by the way, at this point, it says that his lawyer was like, hey, man, but like, you know, if your son was maybe go to the cops, right? Like, don't just have me negotiating with the king of pop. Like, you should go to the cops. And he's like, you just keep negotiating. Unbelievably. And during this time, he took his son to a psychiatrist. We love psychiatrists on this show. And he made his son describe graphic details of what Jackson had done to him, but didn't do to any of the other boys who were also present for the sleepovers. You know, Jordan's mother at this point, June Schwartz, she and her new husband thought, you know, I think maybe he could be telling some lies. My ex-husband, maybe he's not that honest of a person. And so Jordan's stepdad, a man named Dave Schwartz, decided to confront him, to confront Dr. Evan Chandler. And not just to confront him, but to record him speaking about what he was going to do to Michael Jackson and co. Take a listen to Dr. Evan Chandler, the dentist, in his own words.
This man is going to be humiliated beyond belief, and I'm not believe it. He will not believe what's going to happen. And beyond his worst nightmares, that's that one more record. This attorney I found, I mean, I interviewed several, and I picked the nastiest son of a bitch I could find. Once I make that phone call, this guy is just going to destroy everybody in sight. Any devious, nasty, cruel way that he can do it. And I've given him full authority to do that. It'll be if I don't get what I want. If I go through with this, I win big time. I will get everything I want, and they will be destroyed forever. They will be destroyed. June is going to lose Jordy. She will have no right to ever see him again.
Yeah.
That's a fact, Dave. That's what's.
Does that help?
Michael's career will be over.
Does that help, Jordan?
Michael's career will be over.
And does that help, Jordan?
That's irrelevant to me.
Oh, whether or not this helps his son is irrelevant to him.
As people dug deeper into the origins of the accusation, the story grew even stranger. Reports revealed that Evan Chandler had administered a powerful drug called sodium amytal to his son during a routine dental visit. This wasn't a typical painkiller. It's a sedative known to induce drowsiness and heightened suggestibility. Shortly afterward, Jordan told a psychiatrist that Michael had harmed him. Soon, Chandler allegedly demanded millions of dollars from Michael to keep the allegations quiet. Later, recordings surfaced in which Chandler openly admitted he intended to destroy Michael's career, dismissing any concern for whether it actually helped his son. The revelations painted a chilling picture of manipulation, pressure, and possible exploitation.
You know, from the outside looking in, you're like, well, was the allegations true? Was he really into little kids? You know, I mean,
he wasn't, man.
Well, clearly,
he was nowhere near that.
Right. You know, but clearly some of the stuff he did wasn't really appropriate for an adult
That's
man.
all bull, Vlad. I'm not gonna let you start there.
I'm not
Vlad,
gonna,
listen, I live.
Listen. No, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this.
No, Vlad, because I don't want you to finish it and go all over the internet on some negative. You know how that shit works.
Okay.
Mike's legacy got to be protected, bro. The nigga was he was a true soul, like pure-hearted.
Yeah.
Nothing negative about him. Right. Everything that all the love that he came towards like kids was genuine because he wanted kids to progress and grow to be the best they could be.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he was a kid star, so he probably didn't get a lot of those things that normal kids get. So I can probably see where he was pulling from. But he genuinely just loved to see kids healthy and in a good place. He always wanted kids to be happy.
22222. Let that sink in. Just a year later, Jordan sought to legally separate himself from both parents. By age 16, he even filed a restraining order against his own father. It raises a haunting question. What was truly happening behind the scenes? Though the original case was dropped, the damage to Michael's reputation had already been done. Almost a decade later, in 2003, new allegations emerged from another boy. Michael was charged and subjected to a grueling trial, while the media relentlessly vilified him, coining cruel nicknames like Wacko Jacko and portraying him as unstable and dangerous. After months in court, the 2005 verdict cleared him on all counts. Yet by then, public opinion had been deeply divided. Many believed in his guilt, while countless others stood firmly by his innocence, refusing to accept that Michael could commit the crimes alleged. In later years, figures like Akon would publicly defend him, shutting down the accusations in interviews with Vlad TV, underscoring the enduring controversy surrounding his life and legacy.
I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. It's with 2 new songs, which I've written ages ago. Because every album that I record, I write like, literally, I'm telling you the truth, I write at least 120 songs every album I do. So I can do the box set and just give them any 2 songs. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent, owning half of Sony. So I own half of Sony's, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know.
Tell him! Say it, Michael! Tell the story!
But, so, the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. But I've always said, you know, good art never dies. Thank you. I love Unbreakable. You know, and Tommy Mottola is a devil. I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
So, please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Turn that off, please. No, what? I don't mind. Tape it.
Oh! Michael is getting gangster today! Yeah.
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tony, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Oh, there you go.
We can't allow him to do this to great artistry. We just can't.
The FBI had been investigating Michael for years. They raided his home, examined his computers, and sifted through countless records. According to the files later released, they found no evidence of criminal wrongdoing, but that's not what lingered in the public memory. People remembered the sensational headlines. At the same time, Michael was taking on powerful figures in the music industry. He publicly criticized record executive Tommy Mottola and accused major labels of exploiting artists, particularly Black artists. In a memorable speech, he even described Mottola as devilish, calling out systemic injustices that many in the industry preferred to ignore. By 2009,
they completely controlled our minds. I, too, was warped to believe that Michael Jackson was a pedophile, and not that Michael Jackson had picked a fight with some very powerful people who have a leg in the media, who can make things appear and make things go away with a snap of their fingers. And since then, there have been a lot of artists who have tried to speak out about this type of mafia behavior, where when people don't get what they want, they will take everything from you and ruin you. To turn the king of pop, to leave him desolate and broke at the end of his career is a crime. But here's the thing that I will say. They can lie, they can steal, they can deceive, but they can never create, because these people do not have the creator force within them, because Michael Jackson was right when he said that these people are devilish. All they can ever do is try to dissuade the masses via lies, and to go to sleep every night knowing that you are a liar, that you have no creative force within you, that you will always have to steal from people who actually do have talent. You will always have to lie about people who actually do have that creative force. That's a sad eventual ending for those individuals as well. And so Michael Jackson, they may have taken your money, they may have for a short term impacted your reputation, but there are so many of us in the world who now recognize the truth of what happened to you, and we have platforms and we have voices too. And we will continue to hold a candle for the king of...
Reports indicated Michael was facing serious financial struggles. Neverland Ranch was nearly lost. Then he announced a series of highly anticipated comeback concerts in London. Tickets sold out within minutes, and just as hope seemed to return, he was suddenly gone. Questions immediately followed. Was he reckless with his health? Did he surround himself with the wrong people? Or, some wondered, was he targeted for challenging powerful figures in the music industry? Commentators like Candace Owens have argued it's the latter, that his death may have been the result of forces far beyond mere chance. 5, could there be more to Michael Jackson's life and his death than the world has been told? Share your thoughts and join the conversation in the comments below.